What it do? This is Authentic Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Anthony Munoz. And today is episode 5. Yep, that's episode 5. And today we're going to talk about a couple of things. First of all, in the NFL, we got Jay Cutler, that whole situation in Miami. We're going to talk about how we feel about that. The New England Patriots, we're going to talk about them a little bit. And we're going to talk a little bit of the Floyd Mayweather fight. Also in the NBA, we're going to talk about Paul George and Carmelo Anthony again. And before we start, I want to give a little shout out to my friend Mike Valle. He started his podcast already. Check him out. It's New Orleans Pelicans podcast. And yep, I mean, who likes the New Orleans Pelicans? But if you're into that kind of shit, go check them out. Pretty sure a lot of you guys don't like the Pelicans. Maybe back then when they were the Hornets, they had a pretty cool logo. But now that they're the Pelicans, come on, who the hell wants to go for the Pelicans? And they have a shitty uniform, so hopefully in this new Nike uniform redesign, their uniform gets better. But alright, let's get started. First, I want to talk about Jay Cutler. And for those of you who don't know or don't follow or the NFL, basically, let me give you a little story of Jay Cutler. He was drafted from the Broncos, then he got traded to the Bears, and his whole career, there's been this, like, I wouldn't say rumor, because it's not a rumor. I would say it's more like a truth, that everyone believes Jay Cutler doesn't care about his job. And for a quarterback not to care about their job and still have a starting position, this guy is super talented. I'm gonna give him that. He has an arm, he can throw that thing. He's a good quarterback if he were to actually care. But since he doesn't care, he plays with a cigarette in his mouth and he just doesn't give a shit. I kind of give him props, you know? That's pretty badass if you ask me. But yeah, he doesn't care. And one of the biggest moments where people like got on him for not caring was in the NFC Championship game. I forgot who they're playing. I think it was the Packers. I don't know. Well, he got injured and he didn't show no sign of wanting to come back in the game. He basically quit on his team on the NFC Championship game when it was one game away from the Super Bowl. And the thing is, he was on the sideline. He was on the bike. So how injured was he really? But I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But in my opinion, I honestly think he doesn't care. He never smiles. He just doesn't give a shit. I'm pretty sure we all have that one friend who doesn't care, you know, just goes through life like, fuck it, just let life happen to them. And that's who he is, man. He's the guy who smokes cigarettes. But, I mean, he's living the life. He just got a $10 million contract with the Miami Dolphins with $3 million incentives. So, potentially, he could make $13 million. And he is going to be the starter. Because why would they pay him that much money if he's not going to start, right? And what I want to get into is how fucking crazy that is, that Jay Cutler, a guy known for not caring, a guy who basically doesn't give a shit. And wait, before he even signed, let me tell you, he did not want to sign. The Miami Dolphins kept throwing money at him, and he was like, nah, I'm good, I don't want to play. And then they just kept raising the bar and raising it until he finally said, fuck it then. Who can say no to $10 million, right? So, I mean, shit, give me $1 million and I'll smoke cigarettes for the rest of my life. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, who is he to say no, right? So I don't blame him. But who I do blame, well, maybe not, because the other backstory behind this is I forgot his name. The coach, he coached Jay Cutler before, and when he coached with him, he had one of his best careers, not his best careers, one of his best seasons with him. So I mean, I could see why, he already played in the system, and it's already going to be the preseason, and and I see the connection. But here's the thing: Colin Kaepernick is a much better quarterback than Jay Cutler. He can run better than Jay Cutler. He cares more than Jay Cutler, and he probably would have been cheaper than Jay Cutler. But tell me what you guys think. Like, what do you guys think of this Jay Cutler thing? Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about that, because if you ask me, I think Colin Kaepernick should have got the job, but damn, it's just crazy, right? That he's still without a job. There's other quarterbacks in the league that are signed right now that he's way better than, and this guy still doesn't have a job. But screw it, who cares? Let me know what you guys think about that, because I think that's crazy. Also, something. If you guys listened to my last podcast, my last episode, I talked about how the New England Patriots are my favorite team, and let me tell you something. They just bought 2 jets. They're the first NFL team to own their own airplanes. And let me tell you something. We've owned the Jets for a long ass time. We just bought 2 more. We already own the New York Jets. So, all you New York Jet fans, we already own Jets. We went every Sunday. We played them twice, and we owned them twice a week. So, I thought I'd like to drop that in. This is nothing new for New England Patriot fans. We've been owning Jets. So, since we've been owning them for so long, we were like, you know what, let's own some real Jets, because those other Jets are too easy. So, let's buy some real ones. And that's basically the story. That's the true story. I'm breaking news. That's the reason we bought them, because we've been owning Jets forever. For the past 20 years, 15 years, whatever you want to say, we've been owning those New York Jets, and we finally came to the conclusion that fuck it, let's treat ourselves, let's buy ourselves some real Jets, because fuck it, we already own the other Jets, might as well own more. Alright, now on to the NBA. And I don't know how many of you guys heard this rumor, but this rumor that I'm about to tell you guys might be one of the biggest rumors. Not the biggest rumor, but it's fucking crazy how this rumor is out there right now. It's just crazy, because when I first read this, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But just to let you know, Paul George. It has to do with Paul George. And it does not mean, this rumor is not about the Lakers. It's Paul George and the Golden State Warriors. You heard that right. Paul George, Golden State Warriors. So, the rumor is, one of the insiders from the Golden State Warriors, he was on a podcast, and he slightly mentioned he was trying to be slick. I don't know if he was trying to be slick, but he said, don't be surprised if Paul George ends up with the Golden State Warriors in the 2018 after the 2018 free agency. Oh, can you believe this? First of all, the Golden State Warriors have the second highest cap space in the NBA right now. Sorry. They are in negative $33 million. So, for them to sign Paul George would have to mean Klay Thompson is leaving. Either that or they do not want to pay Klay Thompson. Why would they not want to pay Klay Thompson? Well, that's what happens when you have a super team. You have to not pay someone because you have Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, and someone's gonna get left out, right? And if you ask me, I think Klay Thompson is a better player because he complements that team much more than Paul George would. Because Klay Thompson can turn into a role player. He can just be a spot up shooter and defend like crazy. So I don't know if Paul George can turn himself into a role player, or I don't know how that would work. But I bring you this news because I thought that was fucking crazy. That the Golden State Warriors are thinking of getting Paul George, and that's fucking crazy. But that tells me they want to win every fucking championship they fucking can, and I don't blame them. I would too. So Golden State Warriors, I salute you. I'm a Boston Celtics fan, and we want to win rings too. So I feel you. But we're gonna get a ring soon, trust me. And another rumor going out there right now. Sadly, I would have to say that if this rumor became true, this team would actually be a good team. I'm very sad to say that because my best friend, my business partner, he's a New Orleans Pelicans fan, and this would make him happy. And I don't like seeing him happy. I'm just kidding, but no, I just don't. I don't want his team to be good. I like him having a crappy team. But the rumor is Carmelo Anthony with the New Orleans Pelicans. And if you guys don't know, in an article released a couple of weeks ago, DeMarcus Cousins, what did he say? He said that he's reached out to many players, telling them to come to New Orleans. And this makes me very sad because there's a possibility that he wants to stay there, and I don't want him to stay there. I want him to go somewhere else so that the Pelicans can be a shitty team, and I don't have to worry about that shitty ass team. But if he does want to stay, and he does want to stay there, and I don't know why he would want to stay there, maybe just Anthony Davis, but the New Orleans Pelicans are a shitty team. They have basically 2 All-Stars and pretty much maybe Drew Holiday, but besides that, the rest of them are role players, and they wouldn't even start on an average NBA team. So that tells you how shitty their team is. First of all, something about the New Orleans Pelicans that I've never liked is their signings. They sign these weird ass players and they give them money. Like, who did they sign? Solomon Hill. Who the fuck is Solomon Hill? No, really, who the fuck is he? Because I don't know him. And they said he was going to be something really good. And the whole NBA team, the whole NBA knew that he was not going to be something good. So whoever signed him over there in the Pelicans area, what the fuck are you smoking? Because Solomon Hill maybe be an average defender at his very best. That's it. Because what the fuck is he gonna do for you? Is he gonna be I don't know how his salary is, but he got paid way too fucking much money. And Alexis Ajinça, not him. There's this other guy, the other center, Ashik. That guy, what the hell? Why did the hell did they get him? They have so many weird players. The only time I ever liked their team is when they had Peja Stojakovic, Chris Paul, and Tyson Chandler, and some other David West. They had a squad. But now, I don't know what they're trying to do, because their cap space is all weird. First of all, for them to even get Carmelo Anthony, they would have to give up like 3 players, and all those 3 players suck. And those 3 players have big contracts. Some of them have big contracts, and that was what they would have to do because Carmelo has a big contract. And even for 3 players for one, that's not a good deal because they fucking suck. So that tells you who the Pelicans are. They suck. So, and besides, the New Orleans Pelicans, New Orleans, the area, is not a very, how would I say it? It's not a really good city, you know what I mean? No offense to anybody who lives in New Orleans, but Carmelo Anthony loves the spotlight. He loves the city life, and that's the reason he's been wanting to stay in New York for this long, because he loves it there. And the only reason he would go to Cleveland is because LeBron is there and he wants to win a ring. So maybe that's why he would go to the Pelicans, but who knows? Because Anthony Davis has supposed to have been the MVP by now, and I think Karl Anthony Towns has shown more better stuff than Anthony Davis. And that's a very controversial statement that I just made, but hey, that's what I believe. And I honestly think Anthony Davis is the best power forward, but Karl Anthony Towns is better than him in this right now. He could shoot the 3 better. He can I don't know. I need to watch this next NBA season to make a better statement, but that's my recollection. But tell me what you guys think about that. I know not a lot of you care about the Pelicans. Who the fuck cares shit about the Pelicans? Some of you guys might not even know who the hell the Pelicans are. Sorry. Okay, so we covered the NBA. Also in the NBA, I would like to mention they released yesterday. They're still working on it. Today's August 9th. They're working on how to shorten, not shorten the season, longen the season, better rest days so that players won't shit, my words are getting mixed up. But so the NBA players won't sit out games because they have a really big TV contract, and NBA players sitting games is really bad because people go to these games to see them play. They're professional athletes. They are required, in my point of view, to play as all the games you can if you're healthy, because that's what you get paid for. And I understand some teams want to keep their players healthy because sometimes you're not playing for anything. You're not in the playoffs. I could totally understand their point of view, but it's a business, and the paying customers pay to go see these players. The organizations get paid by the paying customers. We buy the tickets, we buy the merchandise, we support the team. So we expect the same from the franchises to show the respect back to us, and the players. Play every game you can. And we know that it's a toll, but that's why you get paid what you get paid, because we know it's not easy. And it's not like we're telling you to do something you don't want to do. You're gonna play basketball. We want to see you play, do what you love, and that's why this thing, I like it. They're trying to help that out, but to be honest, this isn't gonna do anything. People are still gonna sit games. LeBron James is still gonna sit games and rest because he's a little bitch, if you ask me. Michael Jordan never did that. He's over here trying to be compared to Michael Jordan. First of all, the thing with LeBron James, let's get into this. LeBron James wants to be compared to Michael Jordan, but when we compare him to Michael Jordan, he starts crying. He starts making excuses. Well, if you don't want to get compared to the great Michael Jordan, don't wear the number 23, and don't say you're over here chasing ghosts. Because if you're chasing Michael Jordan, we're putting you on a pedestal that LeBron James is clearly not on, because you're a little baby. You complain about everything. Someone touches you and you flop. You're a 6'8" giant that has muscles, and some point guard pushes you and you fall on the floor. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You should be in the WWE. He would be a great addition to them. He's a good actor. Michael Jordan, he was a man. He didn't do none of this baby shit. Every time you go in the paint, you look for a foul. You over here complaining to the refs. Really? You're 6'8". How much can an arm do to you? You can outpower someone and dunk it in. You should take that as a challenge, not as an excuse why you didn't make the shot. If you keep doing these excuses, that's why you ain't never gonna be Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan didn't find excuses. He overcame all the obstacles. When the flu game, he didn't use that as an excuse. He overcame that, and he's Michael Jordan. That's why people say, I'm the Michael Jordan of podcast, because that's the pedestal that everyone wants to be on. But I'm not trying to be compared to Michael Jordan, because everyone would talk shit about this podcast because it doesn't compare to a Michael Jordan standard. So yeah, we're getting a little carried away here. This podcast has been going on a little longer than I wanted to, but that's fine, because I'm thinking of maybe doing podcasts like this, or keep doing individual topics. I'm not sure yet. Let me know in the comment section. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers right now, so I know I'm not going to get a lot of comments, or any comments at all. So it's something I might have to figure out on my own. So, but if you're nice enough, subscribe and leave a comment and help me out, and I'll remember you. I will. And hopefully when we grow, I'll remember you, and I'll help you out. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. So I was gonna talk about today Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Real quick, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I don't know if you guys seen the Stephen A. Smith interview with Mayweather. Mayweather was basically praising Conor McGregor, saying that he's a good fighter and it's going to be actually a harder fight than it is, and that one of the most interesting things that he said on that interview was he brought up the Pacquiao fight and how people didn't like that fight because he knows that he was backing away, he was playing defensive. And one of the things he said is he doesn't want to be defensive in this fight, and that's something that caught my ear, and I was like, oh shit. So are you telling me you're gonna be throwing a lot of punches in this fight? Because if Mayweather is gonna do that, I would like to see that, because I think McGregor has some pretty long arms and he'll catch him slipping, and this might actually be a good fight if he does do what he says in this interview. So I thought that was interesting. Tell me what you think. But yeah, I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, but tell me what you think. Leave a comment and I'll get back to you. That's basically it with that. And before I sign off, I want to again give a shout out to the Pelicans podcast. First episode came out already. I'm very excited about that. Go check my friend's podcast, Pelicans podcast. Check that out. I'll leave the link in the description. And his first episode, he talks about the Carmelo Anthony trade. So hey, go get a New Orleans Pelicans fan's point of view. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Episode 5. Episode 6, I want to get done by Saturday. Today is Wednesday, August 9th. So by Saturday, episode 6 will be out as well. But the reason I haven't been posting this time is not because I haven't wanted to. It's just not a lot of stuff has been happening in this sports world, so I don't want to make boring content. I don't want to say boring things. But today's podcast, I think, was pretty good. Not that good, but we're getting better at this. So that's my goal now. Even if it's boring podcast, I'm getting better at it. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, comment, and hit that little bell so you can know when my episodes come out, because I don't have a schedule right now. So click the bell, know when my episodes come out, because I'm gonna be coming out with more content. Oh, one more thing, right before I leave, I am gonna do a video of me playing the Pelicans with the Carmelo Anthony with my friend. I'm gonna be the 08 Celtics, and he's gonna be the Pelicans with Carmelo Anthony and whoever the fuck he wants. I don't care, but we're gonna beat them. I'm gonna show him that he sucks, that the Pelicans suck, and wait for that to come out. Hopefully we can do that on Friday, and I'll edit it and I'll post it up on Monday maybe. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully he puts it up on his channel. I'll put it up on my channel, and I'll also put it up on my gaming channel. I have a gaming channel. I'm still growing that too. But thank you for listening. This is Anthony Munoz signing out. Peace.